Oh man, I'm so jealous right now. You have something to drink. Crap. I would love some coffee or maybe a glass of wine. That'd be great.
Right? You left your bottle here. All right, we are actually live currently. We're actually recording also. I'm about to push us live, I think, to YouTube as well. But let's just get started right now that we're actually live on Facebook.
What up, Facebook? Book of Faces.
Oh, I love this stuff. This is actually really funny, Sam. I'm glad I met you. I still think you're ugly, but I'm glad I met you.
Right.
So let's get to meet Libby. Libby, tell us about yourself. Talk to us. We're so excited to meet you.
I'm excited to meet you guys. I wish I was interviewing you guys, honestly, but I guess you're interviewing me. It's 2-1, so.
Well, it's less of an interview. It's more of a discussion. Everything here is like
Okay, let's discuss. Let's
we
discuss.
all want to learn. We want to hear about current events. We want to hear where you're up to. We want to hear about your local business experiences, some like pretty cool cultural differences you had when it comes to like local businesses and stuff like that.
Yeah. I mean, well, where I'm at right now is I'm living in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, where there's currently a hurricane outside. Not really, but feels like it. And I in Las Olas, which is by the beach. And basically I started working for this Chabad organization like about 3 years ago. And there is an organization called the Friendship Circle, which you may be familiar with, being, probably knowledgeable about Chabad and everything. I'm just assuming.
I actually don't know, but I beside that Chabad. Is there a falafel store in there?
Yes, there's a falafel store. So
every time I'm on Solus, I go there. I love that place.
Wait, I thought you were in New York. I'm so confused.
I am in New York.
Okay, but you just come. Yeah, New Yorkers, like, they just go to South Florida like in a second every day. So yeah, so you've been there. So we kind of we stayed with like the falafel concept, but we instead opened up a cafe where we train young adults with special needs. So it's very special, honestly. We opened in January 15th. Tomorrow is our 6-month anniversary.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah, which is actually very festive that we're doing this today because it's a big deal, especially during COVID, for a lot of reasons, because one of the big reasons why people even came, I mean, the falafel is amazing, it's great. I'm not a fan of falafel, but a lot of people are. It's like fried foam, but anyway.
Oh, it's really good. He makes a good falafel. But
a lot of people like, what?
He makes a good falafel. Like, I've only had it there.
Yeah.
Never sober.
They're
That's not a good sales pitch.
Yeah.
Oh,
okay, I'm
really
sorry.
Good,
listen, the falafel is like, if you like falafel, it's like straight out of Israel. Like, the salads are on point. Anyway, so a lot of people like to come there because we train young adults with special needs, like vocational skills and like life skills, and just like how to be on time for work, and like we identify like which young adult can like count change, or like kind of try to guide them and do like career guidance, like what's available to them as far as jobs or opportunities. Because I mean, life is quite limited as a young adult with special needs, and it can be very taxing on them, obviously, and the parents. And a lot of them live in group homes, and they just don't really have like purpose in their life. So actually, in the grand opening, there was a story that the rabbi told, which was that someone came to him and was like, my special needs son is suicidal. Like, he wants to like end his life. And he was like, he's the director of the Friendship Circle, him and his wife. And I do like the media. I do like PR, marketing, graphic design, like pretty much like blast out what's happening and like some other admin stuff. But he just said, like, we need to do something. We need to do something like day to day, give them meaning, give them purpose, give them structure. So we opened this cafe where we were training. We hired like this professional therapist type lady, who's like this South African, like cool chick, and she trains them every single day for like hours and hours and hours in this room, and then they come down to the cafe and they interact. So I mean, I think it's pretty miraculous that we were able to stay open, like with COVID, number one, being a new business, and number two, like the young adults weren't even there. Like, we're raising money for them, the proceeds still go towards them, but the whole shtick, if you will, is not even there. Like, you don't even come in and see. So to stay alive, like, we were making food for the community, was like paying for food for like the frontline workers, and we were sitting at the hospitals and police departments and stuff. So it's just like a never ending chain of like mitzvahs. If people don't know what mitzvahs means, it means like good deeds. And it's a really cool thing to be involved with. So that's just a little bit about what, I'm doing currently. Yeah.
And how did you get into that? What brought that passion on? Like, it takes a special person to work with someone with special needs. I've done it for many years now, in administration
Oh, wow.
at home, and I've also done it when I was in college as an RA. But it takes a really special person to have that patience and understanding and realize, especially in a time like now in COVID. Tell us about you, because it takes a very special person to do that. So that's interesting.
Well, I've always like had a soft spot for special needs. In college, I was volunteering in Best Buddies, and I had a buddy and everything, and it was, I don't know, I was always like deeply disturbed that people were brought to this earth and they weren't able to fully be at like full functioning capacity like how I was, growing up. But I can't say that I came into this organization with the awareness that I was going to be working in that world as much as I am. I told you guys yesterday, like I was basically like working as like a historian, like, and I was like, it just wasn't like enough. Like, I needed to be around people. And so I started working for this Chabad. Like, I was making a lot less money, but I just wanted to do something like around people, and like, I couldn't be around any more people. There's like so many people every single day around me. But anyway, slowly, like the special need, really like in the past 6 months, it's really kicked off the program. But before that, we had like weekly programs. But I can't say I'm like the director of it. My thing really is like marketing. But I could never market a business that I wasn't passionate about. And just every single thing I do, like, it's like, I guess it's like a drug. Like, I have like this like visceral like reaction to it, and it's like this like happy drug. Like, at anytime you're doing for a person who does marketing, if you're marketing something that, like, I mean, unless you're driven by money and like if you're marketing real estate or something, but I don't know, I just love like working for these young adults, and I don't know, just trying to help them build a future. I don't know if that answers the question.
No, it does. It's actually funny because when and I'll name drop. It was the Vocational Independence Program where I first began.
Look at you name dropping.
Well, I don't even know if it's still even there anymore, but it was a part of NYT. But literally, it was young adults. They went to college. They had special needs, and we would teach them how to do their banking, how to do schoolwork, just. Yeah, to be able to do the everyday things, maybe even possibly cooking for themselves, so that this way they can function themselves in society without having to always feel like they were, the outcast. And that's when I first really started enjoying it. But it was more of a labor of love. And then I left it because obviously everybody leaves for money purposes, but I ended up back. So I understand. It's absolutely phenomenal, and the stories that I'm sure you probably have and of the different individuals that you deal with are probably amazing. Yeah.
I don't know if you made that much money going to the military, leaving.
The military.
Me? Or her? Oh, were you in the military too?
No. Oh God.
What do you mean?
I wanted to get a COVID test to see if I had it, and someone I know like I'm not sick or anything, but I was just curious, and like someone I know had like the COVID test like right there, just like chilling at someone's house, and they're like, oh, prick your finger with this like lancet. I was like, I cannot do that. I'm so sorry. I gotta go.
Oh, like, yeah, I got them right here.
You have them?
I have them too. Like, I'm not going to go ahead and get myself tested by the government. You know, sometimes I don't want to be on a little tracker thing, but I always am curious to know if I'm going to get COVID or not. So I do have my own
Yeah.
test right now, you know. I rather,
Yeah, listen,
for
listen.
myself and give it up.
They don't always come up correct anyway.
Yeah, I mean,
You.
I don't know how political you guys like get on the show, but like I've heard some stuff today. Actually, for the first time, I heard some stuff that was going down in New York about people wrongfully given the diagnosis. But I don't know. I don't know what to believe. I really don't. I'm not like there. Only God knows.
Yeah, you know, you know what? One of the scariest things about this thing, and since obviously we're going to end up talking about it anyway, because it's like the elephant in the room. You know, it's the elephant in the room. It pervades. It actually goes into just everything right about now. And my wife had it. I didn't get it. My kids don't have it. My whole facility didn't get it. I heard of people who got it. Yeah, I hear stories of, you know, a person fell off a cliff and they died, so they had COVID too. So that's a COVID death. I've heard conspiracy theories. I just can't wait to find the first person to tell me that they have COVID, and whether it's male or female, I'm going to stick my tongue down their throat. I got to figure out what this thing is. I'm serious. I got to figure it out. And then here's my favorite thing, the O positive. Have you heard this Ancestry.com and 23andMe? They're saying that a lot of O positive people have very light symptoms and or don't even get it. So, you know, I'm a little risk taker. You know, I'm figuring, you know, my wife gets 2 million anyway if I don't make it. So, you know, it's trying to win-win for her. I was just trying to see. So I don't know. Find me a COVID person.
Well, I mean, there's people there's actual footage of people in hospitals and stuff like that. I think it's just like, it's like anything else. Some people, they get it lightly. Some people are asymptomatic. Some people, you know, like it's sad, but I don't know.
It's crazy because like
I'm not a scientist or a doctor.
Like people say it's so, like, let's say last year, and I don't know if these numbers are correct, please do not fact check or not. They said 80,000 people died of the flu last year. So if we're at 150, let's say that's double, right? That's double. Obviously, we're in the first phase of it. I don't know. Like I just don't know. It's literally. I think it would be a little bit more understanding if people had better leadership in place and people had better information. If there was more solid, concrete information for people to actually grab onto and use, I'd probably understand it better. But right now, it's like maybe not.
Right now, here's the funny part about Florida. I was doing a lot of research about Florida. Florida's getting a lot of heat in the news for opening up. But they can't. But they are keeping more people alive than a state like California, who's not in the news at all, who does literally everything right, shuts everything down. It's like, I think people need to be cautious for themselves. It's a big part. Like, everyone needs to know themselves, know their body, know how they're going, and know what they're going to do about it. Like, it's a weird time we live in. Like, there are some people that are immune and some people that are not, and the people that are immune should, like, take the time and be cautious for those who are not, and maybe go out there and continue. Like, I believe in that business and everything should open up as usual, no matter what, right? The economy comes first, no matter what, because hunger is just as strong sometimes when it comes to hunger. Hurts everyone.
And I'm fat. Fat people got to eat. Fat people got to eat.
Like, if
I got to bite into a leg, I'm biting into a leg. I'm just doing it. You know,
no, I'm saying is like a lot of times, like a lot of people are like they're like they have people have to pay rent, and I think that they should come up with some sort of system where people who can go out can help people who are not out. And I think,
how do you know if you're? How would you know if you're like immune, if you will?
So here, I'm very lucky to live in New York, right? And I live in the epicenter.
Had the 5-town epicenter.
And then it happened during the Jewish holiday Purim. Like,
this is the first year I didn't
found
go to
out
a
the
Purim
first
party
week
too.
COVID hit America. If I immune to that, like, I didn't have a chance of, like, all right, let me just test the waters for a minute. Everyone I walked into was tested positive. Like, there was no like my business partner in the store, She had it. She lost her smell, everything. Like me, zero effect. Like everyone. Like if I was not immune, I would have been like literally like I would have lost my smell and everything. Like ambulance members would come out here and hang out because we were essential. We stayed open because cannabis is cool like that these days. So like I found out pretty fast how immune I was, but there should be a test, which kind of like also a lot of people should, like it's big testament to like, I'm not a big vitamin preacher because, my parents were like wet dreams when it came to vitamins. They used to stuff that stuff down our throats. And now I'm like, I run when I hear vitamin C, even though we're in a whole CBD shop down here. I think people should go back to like keeping themselves healthy. It's a big part. It's a big part of staying healthy.
Get them, bite them. Yes. No, but you're right. You are right. Oh, you're going sideways, Libby. Where you go?
Yeah. I want to be like how you guys are. I'm jealous.
Oh, are we sideways?
No, but you're like landscape and I'm portrait. Like.
Oh, I learned that from the techie, the one and only Sam. Other than that, I would never know what the hell is in my background. It could be like beaches and oceans, and I wouldn't know how to do that stuff. But honestly, as we move off of COVID, because that just seems to be on everything, let's bring it back. So how did we get the pleasure of getting to meet you, Libby?
Well, I mean, I think that the cool thing about like doing marketing and stuff is that you're kind of like in some ways you're like the face, you're like the Wizard of Oz, like behind the scenes, but in some ways you're almost like the face of it. Kind of like when people like, especially during COVID, like, you're the one who's like blasting everything everywhere, and like you're the reason why people hear about things, but I can't take credit for like the crazy awesome things that take place. I mean, I'm involved, I'm part of a team, and like we have such a great team. I mean, I think my boss is really good at identifying people who are like passionate about the cause. And he said something to me the other day when I was talking to him about something that was going on, and he said, the most important thing is that everybody has the same mission. And it's so true. Like, if you look at any organization, like even any relationship or marriage or friendship, like, if you have the same mission deep down and you're, whatever it is, like it's going to work out. I think, I don't know, maybe that's naive, but I was speaking to you guys about community yesterday, and because we did a for everyone out there, we did like a pre-meeting, and
we everything's still pretty new. We just did a pre-meeting just to find out who she was, to make sure she's not going to go out here and start like
yeah, because we're like, I'm in Florida, and like it's we couldn't like meet. I guess we could have met halfway. We really should have. Like, I don't know why we didn't, but anyway.
I mean, yeah, we could all flown down to like, I mean, not New York, they'll put you a 14-day, but we could have flown down to like, North Carolina? North Carolina's
yeah, we should have just met over there in the Carolinas,
If we ever get lucky enough to travel, I'm in.
Yeah, I mean, maybe like an RV seems to be like a very good mode of transportation lately. But anyway, so we spoke about community and just how important it really is. And I think community also, it's kind of like a mindset. Like I have a Chihuahua. This is like a silly example, but like obviously when you think of community, you think of like neighborhoods and like, I'm in Las Olas, so you think of like people in Las Olas and like, and like you think of people around you in your neighborhood for community. But I think of community too as like I was saying, I have a Chihuahua, and like I'm very in love with my Chihuahua. So like I'm in all these like Chihuahua groups on Facebook, and like I'm always like posting like things about my Chihuahua, like things that are going on or if I have questions. And now I'm like in this Chihuahua community, and like if you're special needs, like I guess that's the cool thing. Like I am, I do social media, so I love it and I believe in it. And like you know, if you have special needs, like it's so cool that you can connect to someone like in China or like, you know, in Australia who has special needs. And like I had a conversation, I just opened this like resale store, and like I was trying to figure out like what my niche was, I guess. And I spoke to this girl in Northern California because she does something similar to me. And like, just like community in general, I think it's like an extension of self, and it's very healing to be part of a community. And I myself have been very positively, like, I feel community, like in some ways saved my life and saved my mental health. So I think that like what we do, we've done like mask distributions, toy distributions, we did food distributions, and we're actually now working on a school supply distribution where we are going to be giving out like 1,000 backpacks with like school supplies in it. And I think, I mean, the person who gets the backpack, they get what, like $15, $20, $30 worth of stuff. But even maybe more than that is just that warm feeling that people feel when they're connected to something. And I feel if our country and if our world, like if that feeling was like in everyone's soul, I think that like we, you know, the world could be a better place.
Sounds good, but I'm all about receiving. That
That's why you're on this podcast trying to.
Yeah, I know, right? But no, but you're right. There is a warm, fuzzy feeling when you do give. You give back. There always.
But not even about giving, also about getting, and like, or also just about like knowing that people care, you know, and knowing that other people also are in need, or like there's so many layers to it, you know, not just like for me personally, but like for the people who are like driving by and like seeing like thousands of people who are also driving by. And you know, I might force my boyfriend to like dress up in costume and like wave at all the little kids. I hope he does it. I'm sure he will. But anyway, things like that, you know. Not force it.
Just in this time, just don't do blackface.
No. Oh my God. Never.
I saw a picture, just funny you just say, I saw a picture on the internet that came up. I think it was Bill and Hillary Clinton when they were younger, and it had Hillary in blackface. I don't know if it was true or not. I was like, oh,
no, shit. That's not true.
Photoshop is a very, very strong thing. It's the best makeup. They say it's the best makeup.
Yeah. But, you know, so, you know, Sam, not for nothing, I grabbed this from your shop. We got to get this lady here.
I think so. I mean, I couldn't see you posted because
it was the racial equality in the five towns. There was a lot of argument. Oh yeah. Ooh, it's fire. Fire in the 5 towns. Yeah, fire in the 5 towns.
Yeah, we're currently in the 5 towns here. It's pretty good.
Yeah, we're repping the hood, Cedarhurst, thugged out, nation, triple O3, Cedarhurst,
Which number town is that?
I don't. Do they have numbers? Wait, they're trying to 6 town, but I wonder, are they numbered like Woodmere 1?
For sure, Cedarhurst probably is the 2nd or 3rd. It's like somewhere in the middle.
Since I'm in it, I'm gonna say it's number 1. I'm gonna throw it out there. Since I'm in it, it's number 1.
Yeah, we're both actually a little bit of opposers. We do. I actually live in Brockway most of the time.
Front door.
Uh-oh, somebody's coming to get some stuff.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, no. Listen, I you know what? Honestly, I would like to travel. That would be nice to be able to do, Sam. If we took this podcast on the road, that'd be absolutely phenomenal. I mean, my wife and kids would not be too thrilled with me, but I think it's a great idea, especially with all the climate that's in there. Did you hear this new thing where they're now wrecking the Black Lives Matter paintings on the floor now? Somebody got arrested the other day.
I don't get why they're doing that.
You know, sometimes you feel like a nut, sometimes you don't. It all depends. You know, they're painting Marys, you know, they mess with synagogues, you know, what the shuls, you know, everybody's going back crazy being indoors all this time. Let's be honest.
Yeah, I think like therapists need to do some pro bono work, I think. Hey, therapists! Do some pro bono work for people.
Did you like the pitch? Did you like the pitch that they want therapists to go on 911 calls to talk to people instead of arresting them? I think that's a great idea because as I'm
a cool idea too.
Yeah, as
Wait,
I'm
why
really
would the person on the 911 call get arrested? Why would the person on the 911 call be getting arrested?
no. Like let's say I'm taking your purse. As I'm taking your purse and they call 911, they want to send a mediator in to explain to me why it's bad to take your purse. But I'm gonna safely assume that spending your money is better than spending my own money. So I just don't understand how that's gonna work.
Doesn't sound bad.
It doesn't. I mean, because wouldn't you rather spend my money?
Can't hurt.
Yeah. I mean, it'd be very interesting. Very
Well,
interesting.
I'm a little curious about, like, so you started, what kind of business did you start before? You started a clothing business?
Oh yes. Okay, so I did. I started I used to like have this little like from Fash, this little like fashion situation where I sold like modest clothes and did blogging, and this was like part of my whole LA experience. And then I came here and I started doing it, and I sold at like Jewish events and stuff. And then I don't know, I just kind of like fell out of it, and I always had the passion for it. But anyway, so now.
Like, what's it really? Because I own a modest clothing company too.
Do you really?
Yeah.
But you don't even know you don't even know what the friendship circle is, and you're so into modesty. Wait, tell me about this. I want to hear about this. I'll
tell you about it a little bit. It has Shrimpklite on the line, but
it has what?
We have Shrimpklite line.
Shrimpklite?
Yeah, you know, like modest bathing suits.
Oh, that's so cute. I love that.
We do have.
Yeah, I tried on one yesterday.
That's so cute. I like that.
So
that's
basically,
nice.
what we do is we help out. Basically, what we do is on that website that we created, I'm a little techie. Is basically what we do is we allow other brands to put on their products on our website, and then we ship out the product to. The seller ships the product directly to the buyer.
Oh my gosh, you don't understand. When I first started before I started my web, I did like a Shopify store. I wanted to do that, what you're doing, but I'm not like a techie person. Like I was like, I wanted it to be like a marketplace, like a mall for like all these. And I reached out actually to a couple people if they like did that, and they were like, we don't do that. And I don't know, it's just kind of like a lame attempt. It's not my strength, you know, like tech and website building and stuff. It's not my strength, but I think that's so cool.
You know, like, so we have a lot of clothing. We have a lot of clothing upstairs because we also have our own brand.
Yeah?
Yeah, no, we have I'm partnered with a modest blogger. She handles everything else about it.
So I used to be a modest blogger. You can look me up from Vash. But anyway, I want to tell you, if you need someone with like the vintage vibes, aka secondhand Fash, I got you. Because I have a lot of modest stuff, and the money that we make, we raise money for the programs for the young adults with special needs.
Oh.
So, what?
That's amazing. No, so tell us a story that happened, like a cultural difference that happened when you were going ahead, when you were selling, like one of those selling moments, like being in small business and stuff like that, and then turning that all that knowledge, moving into the non-for-profit world, and how you take that marketing over to the non-for-profit world and what you do.
Oh, it's interesting because I find that people who think of nonprofits as not a business are not going to succeed as much as people who think of nonprofits as a business.
Oh,
you have to make money.
Business.
You have to make a living, and not only that, if you're working like 70-hour weeks in a nonprofit, like, and you're making $30,000 a year, like, you're gonna want to shoot yourself. Sorry, that's like wrong, but like, you need to make a living and you need to get compensated for the work that you do. I don't think it's fair for people to think that just because you work for a nonprofit, you just have to work harder so you can raise more money for your cause. But I mean, why should people work for a nonprofit to be broke?
So you know who's a non-for-profit? IKEA is a non-for-profit.
Are you serious?
Yeah. I think it's all about all profit, but
yeah, it's all about profit. But
like somewhere along the line, their money disappears, like in another country somewhere.
Wait,
where do you think that the non-for-profits get such a bad reputation, though? Like, why do people look down on the fact that non-for-profits shouldn't make money?
Isn't that weird? I guess because a non-for-profit, by definition, I mean, maybe not by definition, but a non-for-profit is for a cause. Like you obviously, if you apply to be a 501c3, like you're like, okay, this is a nonprofit to raise money for housing like dogs or housing rescues or whatever, special needs, young adults. And I guess they feel like because you're tax exempt and because you're tax exempt, you should really give all your money to that cause. But of course you should give a lot of money to that cause, but I think it's not fair for you to have to live in poverty. I don't know. Is that bad?
No, it's not bad. You still have to pay bills. I mean, I'm sure even though you run a non-for-profit, you got rent or mortgage, correct?
I don't run a non-for-profit.
No, but I know, but I'm just saying, like, but you're in your own home. Like, even though you work, you at home, you have bills.
I have bills. I think like what I can say is like, if you're trying to get rich and you start a nonprofit, it's a little wacky.
It's
a
a slippery slope. Yeah, slippery slope.
Yeah.
It's not about the cause at that point.
I guess if the greed takes over too much, it's a fine line. Yeah, it's a fine line. It's definitely a fine line.
So like when it's a non-for-profit that takes 90% of the dollar for the non-for-profit and 10% goes to the cause, you start to get a little iffy at that point.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I mean, if the owner of the nonprofit is like
$14 million a year, and the other person.
But then what if the nonprofit is making like 300 million and then the owner is making 14 million? Then
that works for me. I think it's fair. I think that's fair.
No, like a not-for-profit, as long as you have a good cause, you have a good meaning, like you can move forward. But you still need operating costs. Like in the beginning, one of my biggest problems with Tough Mudder was, right? I love Tough Mudder. I hated them around. I'm down to even do another one, even though I'm getting so old.
Yeah, right.
I started doing those when I was like 19. I think it was long ago, 21, I think.
You're laughing. I was born in the 70s, Libby. So, yeah.
The 70s?
70s, 76. I'm a bicentennial baby.
No, so they give
You're not a millennial?
10% to the Warrior Foundation.
I could be a grandpa, technically, in my culture.
I think that, like...
That's in Jewish culture, you could be a grandpa.
I don't know. Yeah, you're right about that. You're right about the operating cost. It's a lot.
Yeah.
I'm really not a business person.
Well, yes,
like,
you are.
I am, actually, in some ways. In some ways I am, but like there's a lot of logistics that go into it that is very
listen, you should never judge yourself in business by how much you know, because honestly, being in business, most of the time it's not all the information that you know, it's getting the information out there and supplying it. Makes it easier. You don't have to be a master. Like, there's a lot of people who are mastered in one area, and they can be absolutely professional when you want that one information. But honestly, I think business owners have to be a jack of all trades and master of none. Although they may master something in specifically, but they still need to be able to work in all different facets. And they have to start from the bottom and work their way up. That's just me personally, how I did things. But I don't, to say that you don't have a business mind, of course you do. You're on this show, you definitely have a business mind. Absolutely. This podcast is
I'm on a show.
Yeah. Listen, this is just a...
Can I know,
Ladies first.
Dan/220.
Yes. Second to none is what the 220 stands for.
So that's a fake background, right?
No, that's actually my logo to my gym. Well, it's not there. It's on there. Damn that tech stuff. Yeah.
So
yeah, I own a gym in Cedarhurst.
Okay, so you own a gym.
Yes.
You work in a CBD store?
No. I hang out with the guy who owns the CBD store.
Sam owns the CBD store. Mm-hmm. And has like a clothing company upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
All I do, tech development is my real business. CBD is my hobby business. Smart guns is my hobby business.
The clothes is your hobby business?
The clothing is a startup idea. Me and someone else started together.
Sam is a hustler.
Well, I like if you come to me with a good idea, I love jumping on it. I love learning new things. I love.
Listen, you need different revenue
Modest clothing
streams.
was a big need out there. Is a big need to get out there and stuff like that. Is a whole new area, a whole new way out there that I want to try. And honestly, it worked pretty well. It's going pretty well, thank God.
So, do you have any questions for us, Libby?
Well, I would, I don't want to put you on the spot, but I think that, Sam, it might be a good move for you to have a store for us on your website. It's called High Fashion.
High fashion. High fashion boutiques. All right, tell me about high fashion boutiques.
That's it. I mean, we have a whole sneeze line, and we could take photos of it. I have mannequins or models or whatever you need, and we can I can help you promote it. We could help each other, and we could make some money for my organization that I work for, and you.
And everything goes to non-for-profit. Everything goes to like a 50-50.
Nonprofit. The non-for-profit that I work for.
And like, how do you guys create?
It goes towards the friendship circle. But
I'm 100% happy to put it on the platform. I'm 100% going to put it on the platform. Like we can make a whole post about it. We can put it up there.
I can do it. Give me like an opportunity to I have a photo. Like I have a camera. My brother got it for me for my 30th birthday and my mom's. And it's a Rebel. And I'm so looking for an excuse to do photo shoots with models, and dress them up. That would be such a good excuse, honestly. So.
Yeah, no, as long as you give us the product list description and stuff like that, we'll put it on our Instagram. I know we're gonna put it on our other Instagram. But yeah, no.
Yay.
One of the big things with the podcast, the reason why I don't stay what I am and what I do is love. Like a lot of times I like to learn what other people have to do, and I don't like giving my own shout outs in a time when I want to hear everybody else's stuff, and I want to hear everybody shout out their products, their stuff, and learn from them. That's why I haven't said. But in the comments below, I will post the store out there later on after this.
Yay! Everyone shop there! It's gonna be a great place to shop.
Hi, do you have a website up right now?
It's a resale store at the moment. So, and some of the stuff is new, but some of the stuff is also like vintage, like secondhand. But it's all curated. And we have a website. Wait, I do have a website domain, but I haven't built a website yet. Oh my gosh! Maybe I can hire you. But anyway,
I love her.
It's High Fashion Boutique. When High, by the way, is CHAI, highfashionboutique.com. But there's no website there. Haha. But anyway, the website for the Friendship Circle is friendshipfl.org. If anyone wants to visit the Friendship Circle and see the Friendship Cafe is friendshipcafefl.org. And you can see some photos of the cafe and the people we train, and it's beautiful. And the Facebook, you just look up Friendship Cafe Las Olas or Friendship Circle FL. And
in the comments below, you can put all that there for everybody to read it and see it.
Oh, oops. Okay. I told you I'm not.
No.
But
No, in the live feed currently on Facebook and on YouTube, it's going in there. You can just send me all the links and I'll add it in the description for everybody to see it.
All links for days. Links for days. Cool.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah, no. It's a pretty wild adventure. I know so far Tuesdays go by real fast. Like the whole entire week, I'm like, crap, it's Tuesday again.
Oh my gosh. Thank God.
Listen, there's another good connection. Definitely, I'm sure you guys are going to do a lot of work together. It was a pleasure meeting you, Libby. It really was.
And you make me want to hit the gym, We got to hit the gym. At least I do not work out, so Listen,
don't
maybe
feel
you should
bad. I
make some
haven't
YouTube videos.
I haven't worked out since I bought it. it's
I haven't smoked since I built this.
like literally I'm constantly working and now King Cuomo won't let me open. So literally I'm about to go into tears.
King Cuomo has got to go.
Oh gosh.
What kind of people are you looking for to go on your show?
We're looking for
all business owners culturally different, and finding a way that we can all find a synergy together, honestly.
Work together, help everyone build up.
As simple as what you just did, Libby. You just made a connection with Sam, and Sam can now put you on the website. Obviously, you guys can become lucrative together, somehow do something together.
Yeah. So I just want to tell you something because, I do work in PR and marketing, and I think that you guys should hit up some like YouTubers who like have billions of followers. Just saying. That's all I'll say. Everything else I'll say off camera, but it could be a good idea for you guys.
Yeah,
Anyway.
I think we definitely have a little bit of what's the word?
No,
I don't know.
All right, no. So when it comes to YouTubers and stuff like that, we do have a pretty big following when it comes to like voice and stuff like that. The video stuff we are growing little by little when it moves up, but we're kind of using this more as a case study to try to see and learn and see how everything goes and see what it's like to help business owners grow. This way we can actually show them real analytics and actually help businesses and see like, hey, this is what works, and these are why you create a podcast. This is what works with podcast, and this is what we can do to go out there and help each other build up. So we kind of like jump to the end point. We're not really going to have much to grow, or I won't have anything to tell people.
I hear what you're saying. That's very cool. Well, I hope that I was able to like, I'm just one angle of the entire organization. If you look into like the actual organization, like I'm just like saying it from my point of view, but there's a lot going on over here in my work. So anyway,
awesome.
Thank you guys.
All right, thank you for being on the show.
Absolutely, it was a pleasure, Libby. Pleasure to meet you, and I hope everything's okay with the hurricane over there.
It actually stopped. I think it just didn't want me to go out. It wanted me to stay home so you could see. I was gonna do it from the little thrift store, but I think I just look smarter, like having clothes behind me versus having books behind me. It's like it's classier,
You did a great job. We appreciate it. I'm sure we'll get a lot of likes on this one.
Thank you guys. Thank you so much for having me.
Enjoy.
Have a good one.
Bye, Sam and
Bye.
David. Bye.